Okay, thank you everyone for joining us on this day. We are going to be learning how to do app development. This is going to be fun. So, this all will begin with going to effects.com. And this is our marketing website. We have a lot of information on here. You can get pricing and understand what features we offer. And if you simply click over here where it says login, click on login and it'll launch you to the website. All right, now here it is. What we're going to do first, if it's your first time here, we're going to sign up. So I'm going to create a dummy account for us. And the name of the account, we're going to make is app@email.com. And our password is going to be app12345. Then we're just going to hit agree. And I have read here, done. We are going to start by signing up, and I would encourage you to save your password. When you first log into effectsapps.com after creating your account, this is what you'll see. It's saying create a new application. All you have to do is type in the name. So we'll put the name of your barbershop or the name of your brand, and you will type that in here to create your app. Let's move to the next step. We're going to now click this blue button and say create. We are now beginning the process of creating our app. So once you type in the name of your app, the name that your app's going to have, you're going to be introduced to the template side. So we have about 5 different templates. We'll be working on more in the future. For this tutorial, we're going to start with the blank template because I want to teach you how to add every single section of your app. So let's go ahead and click on blank template. You'll get this. And we'll go ahead and hit OK. So there you go. Now your app has been generated. Now, there are several different things that we want to do from this page before we move on to the next section. On this page, you can choose different layouts. To do that, all you're going to do is in this section, you're going to go down here to change your layout. We have many different layouts to choose from. So here's where you can choose your layout. There are many different designs to choose from. Every single one is unique. We have some that are user-based. I focus on layout 1. And the reason why is because layout 1 has 5 buttons at the bottom, and so does Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. So the main apps that people use have 5 buttons on the bottom. And for this tutorial, we'll use layout number 1. So once we've chosen our template, we've chosen our layout, our next step is going to be right here. When we click this visible from all pages, what that's going to do is when we create our first button in the app, that button is not going to be visible from all pages. We want to make sure that is checked off. What that's going to do is when we begin to add our first button to the app, when people log in, they will automatically see it. The next step down here that we want to do is we want to create a background for the app. Here, this is giving us some directions on how to create that background. All you have to do here is, if you're good with Photoshop, you can download a PSD Photoshop template. And I'm going to do that now so that I can walk you through exactly how you create your background for your app. So let's click there. Once I click on it, it'll download that and it'll automatically launch it into Photoshop. Here is where you can create a background for your app. What you're seeing here is when you put a photo in here, it's showing you what's actually going to be caught in the portrait mode or landscape mode. So let me go ahead and get a photo that I can put in here. So here goes a photo that I have. This app is for a hairstylist. You can use whatever image you like. So now I'm going to, if you don't know how to use Photoshop and you just throw an image in here, I click on the button Shift. If you don't know how to use Photoshop, all you have to do is simply drag a photo in here, grab the corners and pull it to expand it. Then I'm going to expand the other corner. This is showing me that this is going to be safe in all these different modes. Okay. Now, as you can see, this blue line, my scissors are being caught in the middle here. So normally what I would like to do is To get these boxes off the sides, I hit return, and now it's now placed there. If you right click on the side here on your image, you can hit duplicate layer. So if you duplicate the layer, this screen will pop up. Just say okay. Now, as you see here, I have two different layers of the same image. What I'm going to do is go to the one below. This one is now behind the other image. You can now go up to edit and transform and click on scale, and that will allow you to change the size of the background image. And so that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to expand that background image to make it bigger so that it's safe no matter what angle you are looking at the app in. Now, do be aware that it may look a little weird right now, but understand that this is all in the safe zone. The outward here is okay for it to look a little crazy. You could even blur that out if you wanted to. And just make sure everything goes to the edges. Okay, so it kind of blends in. It looks a little weird, but trust me, all these lines are what's going to be. So that's why I placed the middle part to look perfect, and then the background fits it. So now I'm going to export this image out of here. I'm going to save it on my desktop. And in Photoshop, I'm going to change the format, make sure that it's set to PNG. The name of it is Template Unified. I may just rename it to Deontay Background, because that is the name of the person's app that I'm working on. And I'm going to save it to my desktop. Done. You'll get this prompt, and then you'll say, okay. Let's go back to effectsapps.com. So in effectsapps.com, I've already chosen my template, my layout, and now I'm doing my background for the first time. This gray button here says change your home page. I'm going to click on that, and that's going to let me look through my computer for the image that I created in Photoshop. I'm going to click on desktop, click on Deontay's background. That's it right there. And I'm going to choose it, and that's now going to upload into the app as the background. Resize your picture, so if you had an image, you could just upload it, but I like to create it in Photoshop so that it comes out perfectly. Then I'm going to click on OK. That's now going to actually store it into the app as the app's background. And there you go. It's now uploaded and has become a part of your app's background. As you can see here, if I click on overlay color, it says black, I can say white. This is now showing me the safe space in portrait mode. Now, if I say, which is a vertical mode of your phone, and here's the safe mode in landscape. So as you can see, this works really well. Now, below that, it says use this homepage image as background in all features. I'm going to check that as yes. So that simply means that if I go to the loyalty card button, if I create a loyalty card button, this background image will be the background image in the loyalty card. If I go to book an appointment, I'll see the same background, and so on and so forth throughout the entire app, which is important. So I'm going to keep scrolling down, and it says choose your country. We will choose United States. This only means that if there's any pricing or anything like that that comes up, it's going to be represented in dollars and not in euros or in yen and anything like that. Now, you can also change the font. These apps can get very, very unique and very different. So here's where you would go to change the font. So there you go. We have the initial build of our app. Now, our next step would be colors, to create colors for our app. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip that and go to features, because if I go to features, when we go back to colors, you'll see how it affects the app. So let's go to features. So here we are at features. As you can see, it says your pages. Because we chose the blank template, we have 0 features. This is what features are added to the app. Right now we have none. Down here we see all the different features that effectsapps.com has to offer. For this particular app that we're creating, this person actually has their own appointment booking system. Because they have their own appointment booking system, I'm going to use the custom page feature to be able to build his book appointment button. The custom page feature is one of the best features that we have on effectsapps.com because you can do all types of stuff with it. So let me go ahead and add the custom page feature. Okay, now that that feature has been added, here's the deal. I'm going to click on it so that it will allow me to edit that feature. Now that the feature has opened up for me to edit it, this is going to be, and I always encourage people when they're building an app, especially for a hair salon or a barbershop, when they create the custom page, their first button should be book an appointment. So I'm going to change the name from custom feature. I clicked on page name. I deleted the word custom page, book appointment. So then here, the button that people will see is this. So instead of that, the book appointment button, I want it to look like a calendar. We have some icons that you can use for buttons that are part of the platform. All of these already live in here. So there's little QR scanners, there's things of people, right? These are all the things you can choose. What I like to choose for a calendar is normally up here at the top. I choose this calendar here because it's a very general calendar. It doesn't have a date on it like these other ones. So now that will be the icon for that specific feature. And there you go. As you can see here, my app icon is now called Book Appointment, which has done several things. On the page itself, which doesn't have anything on it yet, and we'll begin to add content to it, the name of it is Book Appointment. You see that up here. The icon is the calendar. Now, below that, just like we added a feature, is we can now add custom buttons to a custom page. So what I like to do is add a slider and not a cover. And the reason why I add the slider is because the slider actually allows me to add several different photos. So here goes the slider. As you can see, it is the first feature on our custom page. You will actually begin to see the preview here. So now that I've added the slider feature, I'm gonna now add pictures that I have of my own content. So here goes 3 images that I want to go ahead and upload. So I'm going to allow those to upload, and what we're going to create basically on the custom page is a carousel of these different images. So now that it's there, I'm going to hit save. Once I add the images and I don't see them, normally I'll click on application and then click back to features so that the app refreshes itself. And now there we go. Our first button is called the book appointment button. It has a calendar icon on it, and it has a carousel of 3 different hairstyles from the person who created it. The next thing I would probably do here is put the name of the app in this description section. So once I add the name here to this section and I hit save, it'll then add the name right below on the carousel itself. Our next step is going to be to add the book appointment button. So the next thing that I like to add below like a carousel of photos is a button. So here on the custom page, I can add a section, and the next section I'm going to add is a button. I now have another feature. Feature number 1 are the photos. Feature number 2 is the button that I'm going to add. So if you have a link to your booking system, this is how you would add it. You would add a custom page. I like to put photos above it with the slider and then press the button. And once the button is added, I click on link. Then I can label it. So I will type in book with me. Then in the link section, I'm going to copy and paste my booking link. So if it's Booksy, if it's Stylesy or Square Up or anything like that, we simply put the booking link in here. Now, you are going to get a weird icon with it. It normally comes, it looks like the world, okay? What you can do at this point is you can go to google.com to find a calendar button. And that's normally what I do. So I'll open a new tab and I'll go and I'll type in a word like calendar. Then I'll put the word icon and PNG behind the word icon. So I'm saying I want a calendar that's like an icon, and I want the format to be a PNG. What that means is going to have a transparent background. And then I'll search it on Google Images. Once I'm in Google Images, what I'm looking for here is an image, something like this, that when I grab this image and I go to drag it off of Google, it doesn't have a background. Okay, that's how I can create a perfect icon. When I click on this one, you see how the background has the checkered background? That's not good. Okay. So then we'll go ahead and click on custom image, and we'll find that image in our computer and we'll upload it. Right here, as you can see, it has a transparent background. I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. And I'm going to hit save. And there we go. Now we have a slider with several images, and this button, once you click it, it will open up the booking system. The next feature that I like to add on this page would be images. So I would like to add the images section. This is a good way to display more of your work in a different way on the homepage. Now that I've added the button image, you have to upload about 7 images because this will make a grid of some of your haircuts. Okay. So now that I've added the image button, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on add a picture. Then I'm going to go to some of my images, some of my content, and I'm going to add all that content to that. Upload all these images. So now we're going to end up with our first page being big photos that are in a carousel. Right below that it says book with me. And then below that there will be a grid of much more photos of the person's content. And there they go. They all populate. And what that's going to create is a carousel at the top, book with me below that, and then more images of haircuts that you've done. And this makes your app very visual. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I'm going to go on to adding my next button. Now that those images have uploaded, I want to now add a contact us page. So you have your first page will be book appointment. The next page will be a way for people to get in contact with you. Now, we do have a contact us button, which is right here is a little envelope. But I like to use the custom page. So, because on the custom page there are more buttons. Now, I could add all of this content to one page and that would be fine, and you can do that if you like. But I like to add it as a custom page and I rename it to contact us. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and click custom page. That's going to add a new button to our app, and it will be the custom page feature, but we will rename it to contact us. So now with this new custom page, I'm going to name it contact us. And what I'm going to do is I like to look for the iPhone icon. Now again, you can use any icon you like, and you can also find an icon on Google by simply searching what you want that icon to be, putting the word icon behind it, and PNG. So now that I have this, I'm going to now add a cover image because I don't necessarily want it to slide. I don't want the images to slide at the top. And here I may add the person's logo. So as you can see, the first item that's going to be in this new custom page of Contact Us is going to be a cover image. So I'll go ahead and add the image, which is the person's logo there, and I'll upload that. The next thing below that is going to be a address button. I'm going to go ahead and add the address. The next thing I'm going to do is add the label. So that will be the name of the barbershop or salon. So then what you'll do is you'll go ahead and put in the name of your salon right there. Now you could add the display address button, display location button. I like to add those. It makes the app look cleaner and has more features. Now you could also add the phone number directly to this, but I like to add a separate button for the phone number. And so that's what I'm going to do here. The third button has been added. I'm going to go ahead and put the phone number. Then I will type in the word phone and make sure that the phone number goes here. With that, I'm going to save.